So I finally went to Waterstones in Brussels, and thanks to the help of one of their amazing employees, I bought a lot of books. So in today's video, I will be going over my book haul of 18 books. And I just want to quickly mention that I usually don't buy this many books in one sitting. I will buy a few books here and there occasionally. However, I had been looking for a bunch of these books already for a longer time. They were on my to-be-read pile, but I didn't actually own them yet. So I think I'm just like making excuses for the reason as why I bought so many books. The main reason being I love reading and I wanted more books for my bookshelf. So let's get into it. The first book that I picked up from my massive pile, and I will be putting them back into my background as we go, is Legends and Lattes. This is actually a book that I've already finished at the moment of filming this. So it's been about a week since I purchased all of these books and I already finished the first one. This is a very light and airy like fantasy read. It has very low stakes. It talks about Viv, who's an orc, who wants to completely change the way she's doing things. So she wants to stop doing quests, stop looting, stop killing, and she actually wants to start a coffee shop. So we follow her along on that adventure, which is really fun. It's a really soft read. It's not like high stakes or anything. And this was I was reading Robin Hobb's series, the Farseer series, and I'm currently on the second book, and it all felt so heavy and so intense to me that I just needed something light and airy to switch it up, and that's why I picked up this book. And most of the Waterstones books, except for the book that's over there that I will keep for last, have actually been recommended to me by their employee Emily. So Emily, if you ever see this, thank you so much. You really helped me pick out great books, because if she wouldn't have been working there, I would have probably only picked up that book, and that would have been the end of my book haul. So yeah, Legends and Lattes, really pretty book, also has like drawing of the main characters inside it and even a recipe at the end of the book, so I can really recommend it. The next two books are collector's edition of Shadow and Bone and Crooked Kingdom. I already own Six of Crows in this specific edition, so it's a black cover with red foiling in the lettering and in the drawings. I haven't read any of these yet, but I did enjoy the Netflix series, and honestly, most of the time if I enjoy a Netflix series and then read the books end up being even better. The only thing that I don't like, and if you've seen my pet peeves video, you will notice, is that they actually put a sticker on the book, like right here, and it's really hard to tear it off, and I'm scared I will damage the actual book. So yeah, but other than that, really pretty. Like they have like the side edges match colors there. They're just very pretty, shiny books, and I'm very much looking forward to reading them. The next book is a novel, if I'm not mistaken. I think most of these are novels, and the main reason I particularly asked for novels is because I've been reading so many series, and it just feels a bit heavy to be reading like 3, 4, 5 or even more books of the same series in a row. So I just wanted a few novels to like have quick reads, have fun reads, but not be like stuck with it for an entire series. So this one is called The Poison Season. I'm not gonna lie, I picked up a lot of these books mainly because they looked pretty and because the girl in the shop recommended them to me. Up next is again a book that was recommended to me. It is Monsters Born and Made. I think this book cover looks absolutely amazing. It has this like shiny foiling on the design of the actual creature. So if we look at the back cover, it says the Marist hag is a glorious blur of bioluminescent green slamming in and out of the angry black water. Between the frillin and the antlers, Emmerich has no control over the creature. One wrong snap, one treacherous slip, and it's all over for my brother. I've seen corpses that suffered the wrath of the Marist hag. I don't want him to become one. So I'm very much looking forward to reading this. Again, this I think is supposed to be a novel, so a standalone book. I know some of these books also have like a second part that's announced to them, but they can be read on their own. Up next we have The Isles of the Gods. This again looks very gorgeous, has like this golden foiling at the front, and at the back it says magic, romance and slumbering gods clash in a sweeping new fantasy series from the best-selling co-author of the Illumini Files and the Aurora cycle. So this is going to be a series series, but I think I picked up only the first book for now. I'm not sure if the second book, etc. are already being written, but yeah, for now this is just a standalone, and I hope it lives up to the expectations of like the very much loving words on the back of the book. And then this book that I bought because it was on my to be read pile, so it has been on my Goodreads into a folder, so I went through it with a girl working at the shop and she actually found the hardcover version for me. It is called Kingdom of the Feared, and I'm not gonna lie, this has been on my list ever since I spotted it on Instagram and on YouTube. I'm very much looking forward to reading this. I think this will probably be one of the books that I read after I come back from holiday, because I don't want this to get damaged, and I actually already leave in a few days. So I'm not going to be taking any hardcovers with me on holiday. Maybe if I buy the e-reader version, then I will start it earlier, but this is absolutely gorgeous. And then we get into a bunch of softcover books. I personally prefer buying hardcovers over softcovers, but because I'm leaving on holiday very soon and that I also want to like take along some books, and let's be honest, like softcovers read easier than hardcovers, I also picked up a few of those. The first one is also the biggest one. It is called The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. This apparently is like satirical horror retelling. You follow a bunch of vampire slayers who are in a book club. So this has been recommended to me before already. I just didn't know that I was looking for such a brightly colored book. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I have one little bit of a pet peeve with this book already, and I haven't even started reading it. It's because the cover design actually doesn't go to the edge, but it's like slightly smaller, and then it opens to like words. Like, no, please just continue this edge fully. But yeah, I hope this book lives up to the expectations I have of it. I think it's going to be a very fun read. The next book is The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. This one was actually recommended when I told Emily of Waterstones that I was looking into one reads, short reads, fantasy reads, and this is supposedly a very fairy, magical, soft read. This book is honestly not something that I would have picked up on my own. Apparently it's also based on like Asian culture more, so I'm very excited about this. Like, these things are books that I would never like myself gravitate towards or like pick up in store, so I'm very happy that whenever I ask for help from the employees that they actually get me a little bit like, not out of my comfort zone, but like suggesting books that I otherwise wouldn't have picked up. Up next is a duology that I picked up, and it is All of Our Demise and All of Us Villains. I have no idea what these books are about yet. I just thought they looked pretty, they looked aesthetically pleasing to me. Black and red is my favorite color combination as well, so I hope that these are as good as I hope they will be, because the covers do look like very nice. And the thing about duologies is that, okay, it's not just a standalone novel book, but 2 books to complete a series is also nice, because it doesn't take me 3 or 6 or God knows how many books, and also they are not like the hugest books in the world. So I think I will be taking these on holiday with me, hopefully to finish there. Up next we have King of Battle and Blood, and I've actually seen this book everywhere. Like, this cover, when I saw it, I was like, I've seen this before. So probably on Instagram or even here on YouTube, I have seen booktubers or bookstagrammers or book talkers, I don't know what you call each other nowadays, talk about this book. I just want a fun, simple read. This is a standalone book, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So I'm very excited about it. I really don't know much about it at this point. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to discovering this book as well. The final 2 books from Waterstones are A Touch of Ruin and A Touch of Darkness. This is again a duology, and when I saw these, like, let me hold them up for you, like, these are gorgeous, like, wow. And these talk about Persephone and Hades. I've heard a lot of good things about these books. One of them is more written into the perspective of the one, and the other about the other. I don't know exactly. But yeah, I love mythology. I love twists on mythology. So I'm very, very excited to start reading these pretty soon. And those 3 books are actually from the same author. So I hope if I like them, then maybe I can get into more books by them. And then the final 3 books that I picked up, I wasn't actually planning on picking them up, but we went to a bookstore called Fnac, which is like a chain store with multimedia, etc. And actually my partner found a few books there. And when I was walking through the shop, I actually discovered they had a 2+1 on like pocket books. And I noticed one particular booth of them being English books, because I do read in French and in Dutch, but I prefer reading in English. And then I picked up these 3 books because I've been looking at them and I've been like, will I like these? Will I not like these? And these are all starts or first books of series or books that I want to read to see if I like the style of writing of a specific author. The first one is V.E. Schwab, and the book is called The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue. I haven't heard anything in particular about this book, but I've heard a lot of good things about the author, so this was a good book to get into it. And yes, I will try and remove these annoying stickers. I also hate them. And then we have Holly Black, who I've seen books from everywhere I look. Like in most bookstores I can see her books, even in like the normal bookstores that barely have any fantasy, I see Holly Black. And I've been like debating, should I get them? Should I get the series? But now that they were super cheap, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and get the first book. This one is called The Stolen Heir, and we'll see if I like it or not, and if I continue the series or not. Finally, a magical last book to finish the pile. This is called The Atlas 6. I've actually been wanting to read this for over half a year, I think. It has been on my to-be-read list and I just haven't purchased it, not on a digital version for my e-reader or not a physical book. So now with this promotion, I finally have it. I'm really looking forward to it. The back cover says 6 extraordinary magicians, 5 chances to win, 1 secret society. So this really speaks to me, and I actually think I have 2 special editions of other books from her on the way. If I get them, I will of course show them to you. And then, as promised, the final book is this gorgeous special edition of Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. It is a red book with gold foiling. The other one, the normal version, hardcover version, is black with silver foiling, if I'm not mistaken. And this one is actually the Waterstones exclusive colored edition. And why is it called the color edition? Not because the pages are in color, or not because there is so much color used in it, but because all of the drawings in the book are actually in color. And this edition makes my heart happy. Like, I loved Empire of the Vampire. At first I was really skeptical, like, will I love this? Because so many people have been raving about it. Some of my friends have told me, like, you need to read this book. And I was like, yeah, sure, but it's like a gazillion pages thick. And I'm like, nah, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. And when I finished it, I was just blown away. So I first bought it on my e-reader because finding a physical copy wasn't super easy around me. I live in Belgium, by the way, if you ever wonder. So when I finished it, the first thing I did was order myself a hardcover copy of it to put in my bookcase. And whenever we went to Waterstones, I checked their website beforehand, so I knew they had this colored edition. And when we walked in, I didn't immediately notice it because I knew I had to look for this. But it was actually inside a cardboard casing. And whenever we were like about to check out, I asked her like, hey, can I see that box that's standing there? And that's how I ended up with my colored edition of Empire of the Vampire. And I'm really super happy with it. This is like my treasure book right now. So yeah, I won't be reading this again because I've recently read the book. I absolutely love it. I'm really looking forward to the next books because at first this was going to be a standalone book, but then J. Kristoff recently wrote Empire of the Damned, which is going to be released, I think, in March next year. And he also teased on his Instagram stories that he's also working on a part 3. So I'm really, really happy. If the other books are as well written as this first one, then they're going to be amazing. So this was my not so small book haul of 18 books. I purchased most of them at Waterstones in Brussels, Belgium, and then the 3 other ones that I bought at Fnac, which is like a chain store. I know I can buy books online, but I prefer buying books in real life instead of ordering them online, unless it's like special editions, etc. So yeah, I really enjoyed getting more books. I'm really excited to start reading them. Of course, if you've read one of these books before, let me know what you thought about it, what your thoughts are about them, which one I should read first, because I just finished Legends and Lattes and I've already read Empire of the Vampire, but other than that, I don't really have like a specific preference for a book that I should be reading now. So I'm first going to be finishing the Farseer series. I'm on the 2nd book right now on my e-reader, but I feel like it's going going a little bit slow, so I might just start another book and then finish Farseer series after that. But yeah, I'm really excited to start reading all of these books. I hope you enjoyed seeing my book haul. Should you still have any questions at all, feel free to ask them in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!